Good morning. This is Homestead by Design, and this morning I'm in the woods right at the base of this gigantic bur oak savanna tree. You can see some of the old dead limbs from when it actually was in a savanna, and you can see right here it's got lower branches that are 6 feet off the ground where it will grow new limbs and become a savanna tree once again. But first I gotta clear this area around it. I need easy access. Our house is straight up there and you can't see it. Wow, I'm being stalked by a cat. Didn't even see her coming. Man, she's good. Say hello, kitty. That's Maisie, my cat. Anyways, I'm going to be marking. I brought some marking paint with me. I'm going to be marking the trees, mostly the smaller ones, this diameter and smaller, 1.5 inches, 2 inches and smaller. I'm going to be marking them in a path up to the house. Then I'm going to come in with the brush cutter and hack them down. The reason I'm marking them is so that I can see the trees that I need to cut. I don't think there's any trees along this path that I need to save, but there is as I get right to the end. There's some black oaks up there and other stuff. So I'm going to go through this, identify the trees, mark them, and I'm going to cut a path to the house so I can get down here. There's another giant bur oak right there, and I believe the one right next to it was a white oak, but that's in another video. I believe I identified both of them. But once I get the path down to this one, I'll clear this area here between this big oak and the sun. That would be south that way. Give it some more light and then slowly start clearing around it. There's other savanna trees. There's one there, there's one there, there's one there. It shouldn't be too big of a task to get this part of the savanna, Oak Savanna Restoration started. My cat wants me to pet it. If you've seen any of my other videos, she'll come find me wherever I am and stand on my feet so I can't move until I pet her. Sorry about the interruption. So that's my task for today. Mark all of these littler trees near the base, work my way up to the clearing by the house, and then come in, whack them out, and then with the brush cutter, which is a saw blade, then come back and use the string head on it and get rid of the lower brush and have a nice trail coming down here so I can start clearing this oak savanna out. Stick around, it should be interesting. I have a feeling that we're going to have a cat with orange paint on it. Yep, see this? This is tree 1, and she's not going to let me do it. She wants me to pet her and not work. All right, tree 1 done. And I'm even going to mark the really little ones, because if there is, especially bur oak, if there's any babies in here, I'd like to give a shot at transplanting them. Oaks don't transplant that well, but because they got a taproot. I've read online where it's almost impossible, but that's bullshit because I've already done it. Also, down in here, there's a ton of rock ledges. We're right up near the top of the ridge. There's one directly in front of us. I'm not sure if you can make it out, but I'll be there shortly. This is almost all elm and green ash in here. Dying green ash from the emerald ash borer. There's a good amount of maple too. Watch out, kid. Come on. This right here is a honeysuckle. Invasive species. We're getting a bunch of that in here as well. That will all go real quick. Yeah, there's also quite a bit of locust in here, black locust. Yeah, you would think a big oak tree like that would have some babies around it, but I don't think bur oak does well in the shade. Definitely not as good as other oaks. When I come through with the blade, with the brush whacker, I tend to just look down at where it hits the ground, looking for rocks. See, there's a rock right behind this one, because I don't want the blade to hit a rock. So when I get in a rhythm of cutting, I can forget to look up and see what the hell I'm cutting, and I don't want to cut down any potential savanna babies. This one right here has been dead for a while, and I'm sure it has stuff living in it in the cavity, so it'll be left alone. It can fall at will. Same thing for some of these other dead trees in here. That one's dead. I'm sure it's full of cavities up there. Yes, it is. And the bluebirds and other stuff. I don't know, this far in the woods, I don't know if bluebirds would go in it, but wood wren, and there's a bunch of woodpeckers, other cavity dwellers, squirrels as well. So, from my readings on the oak savannas, the oak savanna is an incredibly diverse environment, far more diverse than what's here now. Hard to believe, but just from the bases of the trees working outwards, you have all kinds of different amounts of light. So a lot of different, there's a lot of different, I guess it would be zones. Now this one's pretty interesting. We got a tunnel there. Not quite sure what's tunneling there. And there's more around here, but you can see the rock ledge. And the rock ledge is right there as well. And these trees are kind of wrapping around it. But I do believe they have to go. This will all be planted with prairie grass and wildflowers that were native to this area before the fires were interrupted. And I will burn this area. We actually had given that a bit of thought when we built the house. we didn't want a siding that would burn, being right next to the forest. We weren't planning an Oak Savanna, but we knew about it. Just not as much as we know now. Something beds right here, you know, that's all smooth, and there's runways going through here. I don't know what it is, but like I said, the Oak Savanna is actually better habitat for most of the wildlife that's native to Wisconsin. This is a black locust here. Yeah, I'm not finding anything so far that is worth saving. Okay, so I will finish marking these trees. I'm almost up out of the woods, but I'm not really sure where I'm popping up. I may have to adjust a bit because I don't see the house through there, but I do see one of our black oaks through this little opening here. Okay, here is a case in point. If you look down here, we have what the hell is this one again? It's a hickory, I believe. We have a hickory, pig nut hickory here. We have a maple here, but right here, buried in all this stuff, we have a bur oak. I'm not 100% sure what this one is, but I think this is an oak as well. And then we got another hickory right here, which is marked. And then we have this, I believe it's a red oak, or could be a black oak. They have funny leaves when they're deep in the woods like that. They get the bigger leaves. I see an oak right there as well. So a little bit towards the edge of the woods, I see another oak right through there and another one there. So this is where I need to be careful. And unfortunately, I will have to go through here and thin some of it, because this tiny little white oak and then a bur oak right here, I would rather have the bur oak than the white oak. And I don't want two growing right on top of each other like that. And then we have this one, which I haven't identified yet. That was dead. I'll have to get around on the other side of it just to see it, because they're right on top of each other here. But that's a cool discovery. Oh, and then I got little ones here that, that's a branch from this one. Trying to spread out and get some light going around another weedy little tree. I was right behind the house the whole time. I went back there and went up and down the hill and marked a big wide path through here. But this is what there is between the edge of the heavily forested area and the grass that we cut up there, the lawn. That's about it for today. I cut out a lot of footage. I had some bad footage. My recorder fell apart on me. My Tascam, what is this? DR05. It's been falling apart since it was new. I got to do something about that. See if they'll send me a new one or something. But got a little more light in here now, so we could take a look at this big monster. And as I showed you before, it's got leaves way down. This right here is probably at 5 feet. They look kind of goofy, and that's probably because they're in such low light right now. But that's changing pretty quick. Once I take out a few more trees over there, this will have quite a bit of light. This tree, that neighboring, well, there's 2 neighboring trees right there, and then one right there. They all form a canopy. So this is going to be shaded down in here no matter what. Then we have a big walnut right there. Then it opens up a little bit. We have another nearly dead. It's been nearly dead forever. We built a fort in it, thinking it was dead, and then discovered it had a few leaves on it. But I think we're going to end up having to plant a couple more bur oaks that way. But we need more of an opening on some of them. But we're going to be clearing all the way down that way and down that way. So this will be a fairly closed little area right here, and it'll be opened up in the areas around it. But I got a lot of trees cut. Oh, and my cat comes for the ending as well. I got a lot of trees cut. Now I got to pull all this slash out of here. I think I'm going to put it over by the big dead oak over there, or nearly dead. I keep calling it dead, but it has a little life to it. I don't think it's going to come back to life, but it still has a little life in it. Yeah, I really hacked this down pretty good, and I will come in here. I had figured I would girdle some of the trees, but it's really not worth it. The big ones are already dead, like that one and that one back there. They have no leaves. So the ones like this one right here, I'll just cut it down, bring the chainsaw. Cat's standing on my feet. It's what she does. Yeah, I'll just bring the chainsaw in here because it's so close to the house. The house is 100 feet away. I could just come down here and saw some of this stuff out at will. Now I really need to have a strategy for getting the grass growing in here. You know, when to seed it. You know, can I seed it soon? Will other stuff sprout up here? You know, I don't want to be spraying 2,4-D forever in here because there's not a lot of stuff growing in here right now. It is pretty dark in here, or was. Now it's opened up right there. So I got more hacking to do at this. I think I'll have this probably cleared in another video, or possibly 2. We'll see. And then we'll be able to see down into the big oaks down here. It's already nice being able to see this one. This is a monster. And like I said before, it will spread out again in the directions that it can, which is most directions. It's like a triangle of big trees right there, which is part of what Oak Savanna is. It has all different kinds of habitats. It has full canopy, it has full sun, and everything in between. So that'll wrap it up for today. It is super hot right now, so I'm going to go and get out of the heat for a little bit. Hit the subscribe button to see more of the Oak Savanna clearing and restoration. And if you click on the notification button, you'll get updates when we upload new videos. Clicking on the like button wouldn't hurt as well. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you soon.